Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Empire Secrets. We've got jazz hands. We've got exciting vibes today. On the show, I have Kelsey Silver, who has become a really dear friend of mine. We met in a peer mastermind pod. Well, not really. We weren't in a pod together, but peer mastermind. She just asked me, just as I was hitting record, if I'm going to the retreat. The retreat is happening beginning of November for this peer mastermind. We're both like super giddy and excited it's in Mexico. It's gonna be fun. And the reason I wanted to bring Kelsey in today. So first of all, she's a data and AI strategist. I was just talking about her software called Foresight HQ, which helps basically. And I want to hear Kelsey's going to describe it much better than me. What I know is that it's AI powered and it helps you be human in your DMs and not lose track of sales that could be happening in the DMs, conversations that should be or are happening in the DMs, but we often lose track of. So we're going to talk about our software, but the reason I wanted to bring Kelsey in today was very specifically because I can't remember what the post was or what the situation was, but she started talking about what we as online business owners need to be tracking, 3 specific things we need to be checking before Black Friday. And because this year, and I'm sorry for the long intro, but because this year I'm so invested in this amazing Black Friday deals week that I'm prepping for my audience, because Black Friday is such a big deal for my universe, for my audience this year. I wanted to bring her on and I was like, Kelsey, let's make it happen this week. So without further ado, Kelsey, I want to circle back to your software, which I'm so excited to get to know more about. And I really want to test it. We were just talking like Q1 and she's like, probably Q2, Mariana. And I'm like, no, Q1. But let's dive right in. So you said you were having some conversations with 6-7 figure business owners. And your question to them was, if you could only track one metric, what would it be and why? And you said their answers were mind-boggling. Sorry. What an awesome little cliffhanger to get us started. Why don't you pick it up from there?
Yeah, absolutely. So quite some time ago, I decided that I'm an analyst and I love talking about data, but I wanted to hear from folks that weren't necessarily data focused, what they do track. And I said, well, let me ask the folks that I've been privileged enough to coordinate with. And so I was able to ask folks like Dallas Travers and Jordan Gill and just some really brilliant minds out there. Every single one of them, except 2, I asked 15 different ones, had completely different answers.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And I was fascinated by this. But one thing that I talk about in almost all of my messaging is the buyer psychology behind how we actually make money in our
Mm.
businesses. And for those of you who have never heard my name before, I am a licensed couples and family therapist that ended up on the data and analytics side and then built my own software because I'm a nerd. So what I really, really love doing is analyzing launches and memberships. And the thing is that Black Friday is effectively a launch for a lot of us. It may
Yeah.
not be launching anything new. We may not do a live event or anything like that, but if you really think about what's happening for the business owner the week of Black Friday, it's a launch. Like, it's got that same psychological impact for
Yep.
the business owner and for the buyers.
Hmm.
So I wanted to post around, here's
It's
3
almost like a
things.
collective
Yeah,
national launch day or week.
exactly. What's so interesting about that is the psychology behind all the competing offers. Because
Okay.
especially if you're business to business, right? You as a consumer expect all of these deals. And there's really interesting psychology around that. And I've found that a lot of business owners I've worked with are sort of so stuck in how can I make the biggest discount or the
Mm.
most splash? Like, what can I do to get people to notice my offer? That there's sort of these 3 things that tend to fall through the cracks. So I thought we could have a
Oh
good
my
chat
gosh.
about that.
Okay. I love that we're ending a cliffhanger, but I want to go back to the previous one. And I'm so curious what some of those answers were and how they tie into what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, absolutely. So some of the interesting ones were really around like very specific, almost what I would consider corporate metrics.
Okay.
So it was page views, because they kind of have an idea in their brain of what their conversion rate typically is. So as long as they know that page views are going up, they know conversion is going to, keep them.
And that's something that you're like, okay, that's solid. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can handle that. Everything that's included in the 15, which I think y'all get a link to at the end, it is like legit. I get it. But doesn't mean you prioritize it. Just
interesting.
Just a note.
Well, can I just go straight to the meat of it?
Yeah.
From the 15, Kelsey, and I'm guessing that's going to be in the resource that we offer folks, obviously links in the show notes and all that good stuff. But what are kind of the top 5? Again, there's so many that we could track. There's 15 that these folks are tracking, I guess, right? 15 metrics that they're tracking.
Each individual gave me one metric.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I asked them if you couldn't. So I asked each individual. I said,
if you could only track one metric, that's right.
Everything else, you'd had no visualization.
Oh, how interesting.
One thing.
So somebody said page views. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
What were some of the other ones?
One of them was revenue per subscriber, which I found very interesting. So
is that different than like lifetime value?
Yes.
Okay.
Someone said lifetime value as well. So revenue per subscriber is effectively, if you have 10,000 folks on your list and you make $10,000 a year, you're making $1 per subscriber.
Got it. Or like email list subscriber. Got it.
Yep, exactly. And the same can be said if your primary sales vehicle is Instagram or YouTube. You just might need to change your goal. But the interesting thing is, okay, if you know that your revenue is $1 per subscriber, what subscriber count do you need in order to get to the revenue you want? Well, if I want $100,000 a year, I have to have 100,000 email subscribers. No, thank you. And so that then tells you, okay, you need to work on increasing your subscriber value.
Right.
And you can do that multiple different ways. So this individual was like, from that number, I can make my entire strategic plan because I now know what changes I need to make in order to get to my revenue.
Right. I guess they're technically looking at how much revenue per subscriber, but also what's my pool size, right?
Yeah.
Like what is the subscriber number? Okay. So interesting. Okay. I'm going to shift us back to Black Friday. I think what I did was I just pulled everything that you gave me and I didn't realize these things are related because they're both from you and they're from your world and they're all about metrics, but it's not Black Friday specific. So this is an amazing resource. I cannot wait to check it out myself. Like my mouth is watering to check out this resource, the $1 Million Metrics. But let's get back to Black Friday. Kelsey, you're like, there are 3 things that people need to be thinking about, preparing for. I love how you set this up as like Black Friday is a launch. It absolutely is a launch, by the way, because like I'm in the middle of writing all of my emails, of planning all my content. The sales page is already almost done. I made it a goal this year. This sounds like, though, every time I say this, I think about the nails emoji.
Yes.
So like demure. I don't think that's in right now anymore. But anyway, so it's like this idea that I have a goal. And it's to prepare absolutely everything before November, which coincides with our retreat. So I'm so excited about this conversation. Take it over. Clearly, I'm like way too hyped up.
No, I love it.
What do I need to be paying attention to? Everyone who's doing Black Friday, what do we need to be paying attention to?
Okay, now these are kind of boring, so we're going to try to make them a little bit fun, but boring is still important. I always remember, my daughter's 4.5. I always remember the Bluey episode where dad takes the kids to the pool and forgets all the boring pool stuff, and they end up having a terrible time. So that's what we're talking about here.
Story. We remember things wrapped in a story, so this was great.
Exactly. So the first thing is your profit floor. Now, what the heck is a profit floor? So this is around pricing. So often when I'm working with folks analyzing their Black Friday, because when I do my VIP days, I analyze like launches and memberships. But since I consider Black Friday a launch, I get to analyze those. Yeah. And that's my little loophole. So when I analyze Black Fridays, it's a lot of times when people are really unhappy with how their Black Friday went, it's typically, again, I'm a psychologist, it's typically a resentment around how deeply they ended up discounting their product or service and the results that they ended up getting. Now, Two things to think about here. First, your time is still worth money. So you want to make sure that the time you've invested in creating the product or in providing the service is paid for appropriately. And there's also the other side of you still have a profit goal that you likely want to meet. Now, notice that I've said the word profit, not revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say profit floor, that means that you're going to take the cost of the item, you're going to subtract your affiliate fees, you're going to subtract the actual cost of maintaining it, you're going to
Yeah.
subtract your time, all of that stuff. We want to get to the actual profit margin of the product. And then this is a research-backed statistic that I find very interesting. You never want to go below 70% of that profit margin in any discount. So let's say that you have $100
of your
product.
regular profit margin.
Yeah. So you have a $100 product. Your typical profit margin is $50. So it's 50%, right? You never want to go below, you never want to discount more than 70% of 50. I'm not great with math in my head, but I think that's putting us somewhere around like $15.
Right.
20.
Of a discount from 50, for example.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can typically, the sweet spot is a 30% decrease of your profit margin specifically.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the
Yeah.
sweet spot is the limit, it sounds
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's flip. I think I misspoke. So you can discount up to 70% of your profit margin. So you can get us
Oh my
all the
gosh.
way down.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it. I see.
But thanks for that clarification. So yeah, you can go all the way down to 70% off your profit margin. Now, obviously that's not the messaging you're going to send to your users because they have no idea what your profit margin is. But you can go all the way down that far. But typically what we see is that sweet spot of 30% off of your profit margin. But again, that's not 30% off of your total product price. That's 30% off of your product margin. That's where we tend to see the sweet spot of no resentment builds up. There's psychological safety in pricing it at that. And we still get really great response from buyers. Now, there's good, better, best around this pricing model. Good is, sort of that 25% off the total price, no bonuses or anything. It's just like a flat 25% off, right?
Yeah.
Then there's the 20% off, but you get a little bonus. That builds some excitement and things like that. But what the best balance that's been found between balancing your own, as a business owner, your own needs with the excitement and ability to drive traffic to the offer from your clients is around a 15% discount with a bonus package. Now, most of these
So a
statistics,
little bit of both.
exactly. Now,
Right. I
these
love that.
statistics
Yeah.
are mostly for B2B. So just to clarify, it works similarly for B2C, but B2C tends to, business to consumer, tends to be a little bit more discount driven than bonus driven. But since I'm chatting with you and you're doing a whole B2B campaign, we're going to go with that one. And so this 15% off with a few, like up to 3 bonuses as a bonus package, has seen really, really great results. But the most important piece is knowing what that profit floor is, because I have in fact seen folks that dig into their profit so much that they have no profit by the end of their Black Friday. They literally go below their profit floor.
Yeah, that would be so brutal to have a quote successful Black Friday campaign only to not walk away with much of anything. Yikes.
But if you're sort of going in blatantly saying, 50% off, you very well may be completely skipping your profit floor.
Yikes. Don't do that. All right. So that's promo math.
Yes.
Pricing your offer with confidence, thinking about what is the bundle, what are the bonuses that you're going to add there. And I thought that was so interesting. You said 3 bonuses or kind of that sweet spot of 3 bonuses. Just very, very interesting. I might have to look back at my deals and kind of make sure that I'm doing it correctly there.
I'm curious.
So what's number 2, Kelsey?
Yeah. So number 2 is setting up sort of how you're going to check in with your revenue. Unlike a typical launch, Black Friday goes very, very quickly. Now, you might have
Mm-hmm.
the Black Friday week, which has become extremely popular and is really effective. But especially if you're doing Black Friday only, then there's really 4 things that you want to check in on.
Mm.
What's the traffic to the offer?
Okay.
What's the engagement on the offer? What's your conversion rate on the offer? And this is one that almost no one tracks when I do their analytics. What is the split between new customers and returning
Ooh, I
customers?
like that. Okay.
Because,
So yeah, no, I was chatting recently. So I'm working with Gemma Bonham Carter on my
yes,
Black Friday deals.
I figured because she
She's
is
the
the
queen, right?
star of
Yes.
the Black Friday week.
I agree. I agree. And her program is phenomenal. You guys already know that I've been chatting about it. I'm raving about it. And there is a link in the show notes for that as well. But wait, oh my gosh, I totally lost my train of thought. What did you just say?
The new versus returning customers.
Yes. All right. So she was saying like Black Friday is a time to talk to your warm audiences. But what you're saying is like obviously out of your warm audiences, you've got people who've bought and people who haven't. So that's what you mean?
Yeah.
You don't mean like cold, new, completely new audiences
Typically not.
necessarily. Yeah.
With a Black Friday deal, typically not, because typically those emails are going out to your list. You
Mhm.
may post about them on social, but Black Friday deals just don't show up as frequently from online business owners like in our sphere.
Right.
Obviously the softwares, the brick and mortars are all going to do to brand new customers, but for us, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Brand new
Mm.
customers, this is the first time they've opened their wallet to you versus folks who have purchased from you before.
So interesting. Why is this important to track that?
Because throughout the day or throughout the week, the tiniest tweak in messaging might double your profits.
No pressure.
No pressure whatsoever. I'll give you this insight. So I did a VIP day with Marisa Corcoran, and we took a look at her last CCS launch and realized that VIP upgrades to her Copy Chat Summit almost never bought her premier program.
That's interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
What you would think. I mean, you went VIP, they already opened their wallets. What's going on? Well, it turns out that she sent 2 emails. That's literally all she did. She sent 2 emails and a coupon code to that specific cohort.
Mhm.
She added 5 folks to her launch just
Okay.
with that targeted email. So if during Black Friday week, you're specifically focusing on kind of that analysis, and you can
Mhm.
usually, the reason we're sharing this now is so that you can set up that tracking process now so it doesn't get all kerfuffly when you're trying to
Yeah.
actually look at it the week of. But if you start to see that you're really just not getting returning folks, literally one extra email could change that. Or if it's all returning folks, maybe there's some trust messaging or something else that we need to
Mm.
insert for our older, our newer folks. But those are
Mhm.
easy segments and tiny tweaks that the day of aren't going to take you much time. Maybe just whipping up that extra email, and you can always have those prepped, right?
Right.
Or throwing in one extra bonus because we don't want to dig into our profit floor anymore. Throwing in one extra bonus for our newer folks. Those sorts of things
Mhm.
are always going to be sort of highlighted by watching those analysis.
Okay, Kelsey. If it sounds like you're looking at your numbers and making adjustments for the following year, right? Or is there anything happening like
No,
week
all of
of?
this is real time. Yeah.
My
So you
gosh.
want to do an AM check-in.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I know. So you want to do an AM check-in.
Okay.
Like, so let's do day of. We'll assume day of, but you can do this every day of the week. So day of, you can check your traffic. So like hour or so after you've sent your first email, check your
Mhm.
traffic. Are you getting the level of views that you anticipated? All of
Mhm.
this can be set up typically in your hosting, not your hosting platform, but like where you can see the analysis. Even Google
Mhm.
Analytics would be fine. So you want to check and see, am I getting the traffic I expected? Check your clicks, things like that. Does this feel right? That's going to help you address any DMARC issues you've got going on, if your
Mm.
messaging is landing, all of that stuff. And that will also give you confidence or a plan for moving throughout the day. Then, on whatever cadence you decide, couple of hours, don't be checking every 5 minutes, folks. Every couple of hours, you'll check your conversion rate. Again, is this converting the way we expect? Are the folks that are buying returning or new? Those sorts of things. And so I have some sort of pseudo parameters. Some of these parameters are really cool. So I'm going to give you sort of a, hey, if this happens, here's some things to look at. Okay. These are easier with a Black Friday week because you have more time to move with them, but they can absolutely be applied to Black Friday day itself. So if you're noticing that your traffic is maybe 30% below goal, two things you could do. You could email your folks more, or you could see if the clicks are coming from a particular cohort and email the other cohort more, because you don't want to overwhelm folks too much. So depends on your level of technical capability.
Right.
Some
How
of my
you're
folks,
segmenting your people as well.
exactly,
I'm sure.
how you're segmenting your folks, things like that. But if traffic is down, you're looking at two things. You're looking at the messaging within the emails, or you're looking at whether you just need to email more.
Right.
If the engagement is down, folks are opening your emails. You're seeing plenty of folks opening your emails, but you're not seeing click-throughs. That's when you know you need to tweak your messaging.
Right. Right. People are not opening, maybe your subject line sucks. If people are opening and not clicking, your messaging is probably falling flat.
Exactly. But you wouldn't know any to even look at that stuff unless you looked at your traffic. And what I will tell you is if your traffic is fine, don't look at the other stuff.
Oh, how interesting. So if your traffic to your sales page. Got it. Because, I mean, are you tweaking your copy on your sales page if your conversions aren't that high?
That's the next piece.
Okay.
Yeah. So notice that we're looking at the umbrella metric and only digging in when we need to.
Right.
Because again, we don't want to overwhelm ourselves with tracking all the things.
Right.
We're looking at sort of the end event traffic. And then we're only going backwards if we need to. Okay, so traffic is down. We then look at our opens and clicks. If engagement is down, so folks aren't coming in, then we're going to look at our messaging within our email.
Makes so much sense. Okay.
If conversion on our sales page is down, that's when we're going to fix the actual page clarity or the payment options.
Got it.
So if you've got some tracking on your page, like Hotjar or something like that, totally different story, because you're going to be able to hone in really super quickly. Love me a good Hotjar recording.
Of course you do.
I am a nerd. But typically, you'll have a pretty good idea. If you're getting really great engagement, and you're getting click-throughs to the sales page, but the sales page isn't converting, 9 times out of 10, it's because the messages are misaligned. But you've already done the work to know what messaging aligns.
Yep.
Because the email's messaging clearly aligned with what they wanted.
Right.
So then you can do those small tweaks on the sales page. Small tweaks. We are not rewriting a sales page here. Small tweaks, maybe in the hero section or a couple of the headers, just to make sure that you're really connecting that messaging. Or if everything feels really aligned, take a look at the pricing and see. Don't change the pricing. We're not cutting into profit margins here. But see if maybe you need to add a payment plan or different payment options like the Klarna and Afterpay and all of those things. If that's an option for you, if you're using Stripe.
And that's something that I'm guessing you would then re-email people about, right? Like new.
You got it. You got it.
Yes. Okay.
And so it's another opportunity to get more traffic.
Yep.
And then the final one that I want to just sort of touch on is this concept of new buyers versus past buyers. So if all you're seeing is these new folks buying, beautiful, great, offer something special to your repeat buyers. Just send one little email. Hey, I know you've bought before. I'm so thankful for that level of loyalty. So for just you, I'm throwing in this extra thing. And watch how much that increases your conversion.
Anything like it makes you stand out. It makes you not just treat everybody like, hey, this is Walmart, rush in, grab your TV. Exactly. And it's like, I see you, I care about you. And here's something special, right? Yeah. Here's what would be a good example. Again, I'm guessing we're not discounting further at this point, or
no, thank you.
Nope.
No further
We are
discounts.
offering maybe an audit, maybe a
Hmm.
one-on-one
Yep.
mini
So
session or
it really depends, and you'll be able to tell this from your traffic and conversions. So you want to weigh this with your capacity. But 15-minute one-on-ones are like chef's kiss
right.
because they're super easy for you to manage, but
Mm-hmm.
they are incredibly, I mean, think about if
They're
your
super valuable.
favorite person let you
Mm-hmm.
have 15 minutes of their time. Like
Totally.
how excited you would be. And for nothing more than buying this thing that you probably already wanted anyway.
Yeah.
So those work really, really well. But if that's not within your capacity, zero issue. I've seen free ticket to my next paid workshop
Mm.
because typically they weren't going to maybe buy that anyway. And so workshops, you have a higher profit margin. So something like that worked.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen work really well doing one added group. Like, I'm going to do a live call for everybody that buys this thing that's been a repeat customer, and you get to implement with me, kind of like get it done
Right.
sort of
Like a
sessions.
implementation workshop
Yeah.
or session or
And
something.
the value add for you as the business owner with something like that is because, again, technically offering an hour of your time is digging into your profits. So, how do we justify that, right? Well, the justification is that if you're implementing whatever it is with your folks, first of all, they're repeat buyers, right? So, we're very cognizant of who's going to be on that call. They're repeat buyers. So, we know that they really like our stuff and are loyal, which means we're probably going to get some darn good testimonials by the end of the
I
hour.
know. So good.
And so
Yeah.
we're really trying to sort of value stack for them and for us.
Ugh. Kelsey, this entire conversation is taking me back to my years at school, like in high school, where I loved being friends with the person who took like copious notes, like knew exactly what to do and when which homework was due and how to do it. Cause I feel like I always got good grades, but I always felt like I was leaning on somebody like you who like knew what they were looking at and could like help me.
What's hilarious is I was late on 90% of my assignments.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Okay. So we should have definitely partnered because I would have gotten it done, but you would have I know you would have known exactly what needed to be done. So
I would know exactly what needed to be done. Executing it, very different story for me
different. Okay.
personally.
So this is why we have such a different and awesome complementary
Exactly.
personalities. But
Exactly.
this is so fantastic. I want to send people to where they can connect with you further, where they can grab the resource that we were talking about earlier, Million Dollar Metrics, and where they can learn about Foresight HQ, your SaaS
Yeah,
product.
absolutely. So we didn't get to number 3. Do
Oh
you want
my
to
gosh, I
do
thought
number
that was
3?
number 3. Warm lead follow up.
I mean, it kind of is, but
Okay,
that
there's more.
one was
Tell
number
me.
2. Okay, so I'm just going to segue really, really quickly for number 3 because I know I have shared a lot. And that is this warm lead follow up, but I really want to focus on the psychology of it really quickly.
Okay.
Black Friday is about capturing those almost buyers.
Mm.
And so you want to be cognizant of what buying signals you're receiving. So a lot of times you might get DMs during your Black Friday deals asking questions or email responses, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to look for what signals are they giving you? Like, I'm not sure if, or would
Mm.
this work for me? Things like,
Yes.
is there a
Yeah.
payment plan? All of those are signals that they are ready to buy.
They're on the fence. They
Yep.
just need that one thing.
They're just looking for that one thing. So that goes into incorporating it in your messaging as well, even if it's like an FAQ email,
Yeah.
using some of that same language because you'll trigger those folks.
Yes. Such gold. I feel it's so funny because sometimes I feel like I hear things and I'm like, that was in my brain, but it wasn't crystallized. So thank you for crystallizing that. That's such a great strategy. I've known that these questions are gold, but I've not really made a plan for how to use them. Right. And so I think that's brilliant. That's probably also messaging that could maybe end up in your sales page somewhere, like
Exactly.
those minor tweaks. It's
And
funny because I know that Amy Porterfield in her last launch, she hasn't done her full launch debrief yet. I think that's next week, but she did mention that these were some of the things that they were modifying along the way. They were like
yeah.
listening to people's questions, which apparently the webinars were like the longest ever Q&A. which makes sense. Like people are hesitating a lot to buy nowadays and they have a lot of questions, which
Oh, yeah.
it is what it is. And that's the day, that's where we're at right now. And so the idea being that how can you take those questions and really listen to what's being said?
Exactly.
Sometimes between the lines, right?
And that's exactly what I built Foresight HQ to do.
Mm, what a
So
wonderful segue.
I know, right?
Wrap us up, Kelsey. Yes.
So Foresight HQ is an AI that I built myself. It does not use APIs into ChatGPT or anything like that. And it analyzes this buyer psychology. So it goes into your Instagram DMs and it analyzes this sort of language and it rates your folks. It gives them a lead score, just like you've probably seen lead scores for emails and all that good stuff. It lead scores your Instagram DMs. And we are working on additional social media integrations, but it's something I'm really proud of. I'm really excited to bring more humanizing into a lot of the automation that's happening in the space. I always say that Foresight HQ is the step after ManyChat because you're going to get flooded with all your beautiful ManyChat automations and then all of your real buyers are going to get lost in the mix. So Foresight HQ levels those folks up to a beautiful dashboard that you can message from. And so if you want to check out more about Foresight, that is at foresighthq.app. But I have the really exciting the $15 million metrics, and that is at kelseysilver.com/metrics. But, I built an Instagram DMing tool, so you can probably be assured that I will follow up with you if you message me on Instagram, and I am Kelsey E. Silver. So don't forget the E, it's a totally different person. So Kelsey E. Silver on Instagram.
I love it. All those links will be in our show notes. Kelsey, this was so fantastic. I cannot wait to vibe and jazz more about metrics poolside in Cancun very, very soon. It's going to be so much fun. You guys, if you are prepping for Black Friday and you're listening to this episode, which is dropping next week, end of October, you still have time to make a freaking splash. Oh, yeah. You still have time. I have nothing I can offer you but this amazing program that I'm following. So the link is in the show notes as well. If you grab a copy with my link, come back to me and I will add you to my WhatsApp group, which is where we're masterminding and brainstorming all of these creative insights and new approaches to Black Friday. I've not done Black Friday before, but I absolutely want to do it in a way that's going to be positioned to work its best in 2025. So if that's you too, grab it using my link, come back to me and I'll add you to my group and we can mastermind together. Kelsey, this has been so much fun. Thank you for jumping on. I know you've had a crazy night with kiddo and all the fun mom stuff that goes with business building as well. But it's so awesome to chat with you and I can't wait to see you IRL.
Thank you so much for having me. Can't wait to give you a big hug. Have a good one.
Same. Take care. Bye. Bye, everyone.